Prehistoric art. Art from this period relied on the use of natural pigment and stone carving to create impressionations of objects, animals, and ritual that governed a civilization existence. One of the most famous examples is that of the Paleolithic cave painting found in the complex caves of Laxus in France. Ancient art refers to the many types of art produced by the advanced cultures of ancient society with some form of writing, such as those of ancient China, India, Mesopotamia, Persia, Palestine, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Egyptian painting and sculpture. Egyptian art refers to art produced in ancient Egypt between the 16th millennium BC and the 4th century AD, spanning from prehistoric Egypt until the Christianization of Roman Egypt. It includes painting, sculptures, drawings, and papyrus, jewelry, ivories, architecture, and other art media. Greek art 250 BC. Greek art emphasized the importance and accomplishment of human beings, even though much of Greek art was meant to honor the gods. Those very gods were created in the image of human. Much artwork was government-sponsored and intended for public display. Medieval art. The medieval art of the Western world covers a vast scope of time and place, over 1,000 years of art in Europe, and at certain periods in Western Asia and Northern Africa. It includes major art movement and periods, national and regional art, genres revival and artist craft, and the artists themselves. Early Renaissance art focused on realism, which was in line with the humanism ideals prevalent during this cultural shift in European history. There was more naturalism in art. Figures were depicted with more anatomical realism and emotive equalities versus the two-dimensionality of the earlier Byzantine art. Renaissance art is marked by the gradual shift from the abstract form of the medieval period to the representational form of the 15th century. Subject grew from mostly biblical scenes to include portraits, episodes from classical religion, and events from contemporary life. Late Renaissance, often also called the Mannerist period, is characterized by artwork that typically took other works of art as models. Their primary subject was the human body, often elongated, exaggerated, elegant, and arranged in twisted poses. The neoclassical movement focused on the presiding art style of ancient Rome and Greece. Neoclassicism was more focused on appreciating antiquity rather than embracing it as a way of life. As the neoclassical period often featured contemporary subjects and scenes. Impressionism was a radical art movement that began in the late 18th century, primarily around Parisian painters. Impressionists rebelled against classical subject matter and embraced modernity, desiring to create work that reflected to the world in which they live.